Hi, I'm Mayor Dan Robuck, and I'm here to tell you about what's happened in Leesburg, and specifically with the City Commission in the month of February. So we had a lot of things happen in February, making some progress. One of the things we did is going to provide a nice recreational opportunity for everyone in the area. Is we partnered with Lake Sumter State College to do a disc golf course. There's actually going to be a whole bunch of them throughout the county, but the one in Leesburg is going to be out there at the college. It'll be what's currently the wooded area on the east side of the campus, and so we're going to partner. We're splitting some of the construction costs with them, but then they'll maintain it going forward, and it'll be free for anyone to go out there and play around the disc golf. So that, I think, is a good thing for Leesburg. Another thing we did is we have signed a contract to replace the surface at the splash pad. So the current splash pad surface, it was a textured concrete, and while it met standards and it is safe, we had some complaints, mostly from people running, which you're not supposed to do there, but we know people don't always follow the rules, so we wanted to go the extra mile, make sure it's a safe and nice experience for everyone. So we're replacing that concrete with it's an interlocking system of rubber mats. So look forward to seeing that in the future. Should be done here pretty soon. Another thing that we did that doesn't really make the news, but is huge for Leesburg's future, is we actually partnered with the villages, and we're going to be supplying gas to many of their communities outside the city of Leesburg. So Wildwood South, a lot of those new homes you're seeing will actually have Leesburg gas. And why that's important for Leesburg is the gas system, we make money on it, and that money can come back in and help us pay for amenities here for the residents. So that helps keep taxes low and provide a higher level of service. So that's actually a huge deal. It's going to be taking we'll see that the benefits of that over the next 5-10 years plus, but very, very positive for Leesburg's long-term future. Another thing, and not such a happy thing that we're dealing with, is we're really, along with other communities in the area, we're struggling to address the homeless population. Many of you know, we have a lot of homeless people in Leesburg. We provide a lot of services here in Leesburg, not the city so much, but the churches do, which are much needed services. But the side effect of that is we have a lot of people, just hanging around. We had some issues with fires, and so one thing we're going to do is I've got coming up, it probably be at our last meeting in March, it'll be a panhandling ordinance. It's going to be modeled off the one that was just recently done in Orlando, and what it'll do is it'll restrict areas where you can panhandle. So we're not, as a city, we're not legally allowed to just say, no, you can't do it. But what we can do is we can have kind of guidelines. So you can't go up to people in their car. That's a safety hazard, people going out into the roads, distracting drivers. So we put an end to that. We're not gonna allow it for, so you wouldn't be able to go up and ask someone who's eating lunch at one of our downtown restaurants outside. You can't go up and ask those people for money. They're there to enjoy the downtown area, enjoy lunch, and so that would be prohibited. We'll also put some restrictions probably on where people can sleep. You can't just go to sleep anywhere you want. That's been an issue as well. So for the short term, that's kind of an area. And then in the long term, we're looking at a kind of a broader solution, but for that we need some partners. So we've reached out to Livestream, reached out to the county, and hopefully we can have some sort of joint partnership with those, potentially other cities, where we can have an area where we can get people off the streets, get them housed in temporary housing, provide services, and really address the problem. So hopefully you'll be hearing some more about that in the future. The Leesburg Commission, I think, is firmly behind it, but right now we really need some help from our partners. A final thing that happened, and this I think is very, very positive for Leesburg, is that we're gonna partner with the mall. And I think I've spoken in prior episodes about the new ownership of the mall, the commitment they've made to Leesburg. They provide many, many jobs. They provide about $250,000 a year in tax revenue. So the mall, it's very important to Leesburg. And frankly, it struggled under prior ownership. The new ownership has a vision. I've met with them. They've got 5 stores opening now, many more in the works. And they're getting ready to spend several $1 million renovating the mall. So the city currently has what we call a facade signage and landscaping grant, and that applies to any business on our major corridors, and they can apply for up to $25,000 in matching funds to fix up the outside of their building. Well, $25,000, it works for most businesses, but on a project the scope of the mall, where they're talking about spending, $4 or $5 million, $25,000 is kind of a drop in the bucket. So what we did is we added another category to that grant. So for very large employers and very large businesses, you could apply for a grant up to $500,000. And the way that works is we don't just say, apply for a grant, here's a check. The way it works is the mall would come to us, they would show us the plans of what they want to do. We would look at those plans. The commission could get impact, we could input, we could ask for changes in those plans. And then once we're happy with them, we say, okay, based on these plans and based on the dollars you're wanting to spend, we're willing to match an amount of money. It could be $10,000, $100, it could be as high as $500, all dependent on the plans and what we feel is appropriate. But we can't match less than they spend. So if they spend $10,000, we can't give them 20. The most we could give them was 10. So it's important to know that that's how that works. And then to actually get the money, they have to go out and spend it. So if we said, look, you're gonna spend $4 million, we're gonna match and give you $500,000. They would actually go spend the $4 million. They would do the improvements. We would look at the improvements and make sure that they matched what they told us they were gonna do. Then we would reimburse them for the amount of the grant. So it's a way to help out. Those jobs are very important. A lot of people work at the mall. It's an economic driver. It brings people in from outside the area. They're one of our largest taxpayers, one of our largest utility customers. So, a lot of people wonder, why are you helping private business? Well, the fact of the matter is that, if we don't help them, that mall could go out of business. And that mall goes out of business, we lose jobs, we lose tax money, we lose utility revenue, and it becomes an eyesore for Leesburg and Lake County. So, it's kind of an extraordinary situation. So we're taking extraordinary measures to help out and try to protect those jobs and protect that business. And then, of course, we have the program for other businesses as well. So I would encourage you to, if you have a business on Main Street, 441, 27, 44, and you want to fix it up, come down to the city and ask about that facade landscape grant program, and we'll see if we can't help you out. And then to end, the Taste of Lake. So I mentioned in our prior, it was gonna be in March at Moore's house, but unfortunately, as many of you know, we had a terrible fire, which has destroyed most, if not all, of the house. We're still evaluating that. We had to move the event. So now it's gonna be April 10th, that's a Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. It's gonna be in Town Square in Leesburg. So right downtown on Main Street, Town Square. We got the fountain in City Hall. We'll have vendors set up. You can come and try out all restaurants, not just from Leesburg, they'll be from all over the area. So would encourage you to check that out if you have a restaurant or know someone with a restaurant. For restaurants, it's free to participate. So if you have them contact the Leesburg Chamber, we'd love to get them signed up. So with that, we'll see you next month, and thank you for listening to what's going on in Leesburg.